Cast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the introduction of our flavour stack and freezer meals. Can everyone hear me okay? Excellent. So we have myself, Maria Mavridis, and Annette Preston on the call today as we're presenting, and we've got Gina Moore and Mel Nathan as well to help answer some questions. So just bear with us. So yeah, introducing the flavour stack and the freezer meals. So this is just an introductory. We will be presenting these individually later on 2 separate webinars, but this is just to give you an insight to both the programs. Yeah, Annette. So you'll see here on the left-hand side, these are the flavour stacks. Now this is just an example of what they are going to look like. So they'll have a foil seal on them. They will contain approximately 3 to 4 tablespoons of ingredient. Now on the top of the foil lid we will have a proper label to go on top. So the foil lid, you'll see there's a little extra little bit there that you can reseal them for anyone that doesn't use the whole ingredient. So this is a new way to enjoy your inspiration at home. So we're launching on the 1st of September globally, so in all of our 5 countries that we're currently in. And obviously, it's also, you know, an insight to our products because you're sharing smaller size products as opposed to the bigger size products. So, do your customers love food, but when it comes to mealtime, they just don't know where to start? Or maybe your customers are just stuck in a food rut. So this is an exciting new Autoship direct ship program. Will be delicious from your inspiration at home products right to their table. All your customers need to do is pick up their fresh ingredients and follow the recipe. So they're basically ordering online. Inside the box will contain some recipes and their pot. So 4 easy and delicious meals just like that. So next screen, Annette. So the Autoship program is going to be called the Flavour Stack. So this is a new artwork and branding for this particular program.
My system is having a delay every time I change a screen, so it is coming, just slowly.
Okay, cool. So each month, the flavour stack will contain 4 boxes. So each box will contain a recipe card, a shopping list, and 3 meal-sized pods of your inspiration at home products. So that's what we went over before. So the recipe card may have 1 to 2 recipes on it. So each box it may not just be 1 meal. It may make you 2. It may make you 3. So again, here's an example of what they will look like. And if you have any questions, please feel free just to type them in and we can get back to them. So Suzanne Turner, is it an individual meal, one person, or a family-sized meal? So the recipe is designed to serve 4. And again, some of the stacks you will have leftover product that you can use for later on in a different recipe for samples. And as I mentioned earlier, some of the product, some of the recipe cards will have an additional recipe in there on what you can use. So this is the label that will be on top of each pod on the left-hand side, and then the dimensions of the pod. So each one will be labelled individually, and again, it's about 3 tablespoons. So this is what the outside of the flavour stack box will look like. So the flavour stack box on the top, and then where it's being sent to and the companies. So this is an overall box, and then inside the box will contain your 4 stacks, your recipe cards. Now each product will also have the ingredients list on there as well. Covered with this as well. So this is one of our very first recipes to go into the generic box that we'll be having. So it's a Cheats apple pie tart, and down the bottom, you can just go to the next slide, Annette. Down the bottom you'll see a tear off, a shopping list section there. So you're just tearing that off and you're taking that with you to your supermarket, so you've got your ingredients list there straight away. So again, on this you've got like a bonus recipe. So there was some leftover country baked apple pie spice, so we've given you an additional recipe on how to make an apple pie sauce. So your Inspiration at Home sends the first generic box. So when your customers sign up, there's a generic box which contains like your 4 meals, and then after that, your customers are going to have the option to select their meals each month. So they're buying 4 stacks, which makes the box. So they'll be able to choose those meals that they would like. If they don't choose that, the flavour of the month stack, which is the company's generic stack or box, will be selected automatically for them. So at the moment, we have plus US, $25 plus direct shipping in New Zealand, and £10 plus direct shipping in the UK. Now for New Zealand, we are looking at a cheaper direct shipping cost for you. So just hang tight until we find those details out, and we'll let you know. So that is per box, and you will get a discount on your shipping for future boxes if you're ordering 1 or 2. Like if you're ordering 2 boxes at a time or 3 boxes, you will get a discount on the shipping. So how does this work for the consultant? So your first month, you're receiving 20 PV. So if you're only selling one, if you've only got like your 1 customer, and so you're only selling the 1 box to them, you'll get 20 PV. Now every month after that, every box that customer purchases, you'll get the 15 PV. So PV is signed once the payment each month is processed and completed. So I'm just answering some questions just so everyone knows. So yes, we get 4 recipes for the one box. So inside one box you'll get 4 recipes, which will create 4 meals. So yes, the recipes have been designed from a group of consultants that have been put into a group to design this program as well. And yes, they are all being tested in a kitchen. And Amanda, our marketing and photographer, is making all of these recipes and taking photos and making sure that they all work. So will the flavour month change each month? Flavour of the month change each month? No, it will just be a generic standard one, and then it's up to the customer or the guest to choose what they would like. So will there be gluten-free recipe options for celiac? At this stage, I don't believe we have any, but we will definitely look into that for you.
Yeah, I think a lot of the recipes really...
For a sign-up form, sorry, I missed that one, Annette.
To say, looking at the recipes, a lot of the recipes don't contain any gluten in them anyway. They're standard meals. So, you know, most of the meals I cook at home don't have any gluten in them. So you will find that there will be a large portion of the recipes and things in the pods that are going to be safe for celiacs to be able to use, or to be able to substitute a normal flour with a gluten-free flour and things like that.
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
And just on another question.
Okay, let's just go to the next slide.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so can we sell this at a tasting? So yes, the same way as any Your Inspiration at Home product. So the host will receive the 20 PV towards the host benefit, just like a product. So we will have the option for you when you're entering this as a party. There'll be, you know, a new tab with our new back office on how to enter this as well. Next one, Annette. So how does this work? A customer signs up for the Flavour Stack program. The customer is shipped stack 1. So this is our generic stack. And then the next month, the customer can choose their own flavour stack. So they're choosing 4 different stacks to make their box. Or the stack of the month will be the default stack to be shipped. For example, October 2nd, a customer has until the 5th of October to choose their stack, or on the 20th of that month, the stack of the month will be shipped automatically. Is it? Okay. Annette, would you like to do this bit?
Absolutely, Maria. I'm just going to go back to one question that I keep seeing pop up about the flavour of the month. The flavour of the month will be different from month to month. It's not going to be that they're going to get the same generic box that they started out with. There will be a different flavour of the month every month, so four different groupings of recipes. it will just be an automatic one that's just sent out rather than them going in and picking the flavours that they want. So if they nominate to just go on flavour of the month and don't pick their own flavours, they will get a different box of stuff every month. So it's not going to be the same as their generic box every single month. They're not going to be living on apple tarts forever. So I hope that covers that one up, because there was a lot of questions coming through about that. All right. So your annual PV and earning calculations. If you're calculating on one customer, your customer spends 20 PV in his or her first month, and then for the 11 subsequent months, they are actually counted towards you at 15 PV. Remembering you get 20 for the first month and 15 for subsequent months. That's the amount you get as a consultant, not the amount they spend on the packs. So the total annual PV you earn as a consultant selling a 12-month subscription to the flavour stacks is 185 PV. As an example here, if you have 10 customers and they're all on a 12-month subscription, they're all spending that 185 PV a year, or you're earning that 185 PV a year, that works out to be 1,850 PV in 12 months. 25% of that amount is $462.50, and that's your base. So that's the base amount you would get in a 12-month period having 10 customers on the Autoship or Flavour Stack programs. Then, of course, you do get your rebates on it. If you're a leader, for example, and you're needing to do your 1,000 PV every month, there will be that extra 3%. If you're a top seller, it's going to go all the way up to perhaps even 35%. So definitely a good way to keep that income stream growing. Just a slide delay here for a moment. How is this going to build your business? So, this is a big question in all of our heads. How is this going to work for me, and how is it going to help me? So we've gone through 10 customers giving us $462.50 a year in commission, and that's pretty cool. 20, of course, is double that. So say you're really, really good and you sign up 100 customers onto Flavour Stack. That's an annual PV of $18,500, and will give you an annual commission just on your Autoship Flavour Stack, flavour of the month, whatever you wish to be thinking of it as in your head, of $4,625 a year. And there is a rebate commission on that also of $555. So it's pretty good going. If you're an absolute gun and you get out there and you sign 1,000 customers onto this program, so 1,000 signed up for 12 months, your PV for 12 months is $185,000, people. That's pretty good, giving you an annual personal commission, that's your 25%, of $46,250, and a rebate commission of $18,500. Total annual income on your commission from 1,000 customers on this program is $64,750. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I know that here in Australia, that is a pretty decent wage. So if you can get your customers onto this program, it's a really, really good way to be running, because it's money just coming in, and all you need to be doing for it is servicing your customers. How's it going to build your team or your organisation? Well, again, let's take it from the personal and let's look at it from a team perspective. So if your team, as a leader, as a leader at whatever level you may be, if across your organisation there are 1,000 customers on this program, down here at the bottom, let's think big. They're bringing in, again, $64,750 as a personal annual commission. The team commission on 75% of that. So if your team are doing that, the 7% on that is $12,950 annually. That's over $1,000 a month that you're getting added to your leadership bonus, because there are 1,000 customers in your organisation on Autoship. So if you're a leader, if you're an aspiring leader, if you are looking towards that level, and let's face it, why wouldn't you be? That's a really, really good thing to be focusing on. Get your teams, get your consultants selling the Autoship program, selling flavor stacks, because it's going to work out for you. It's going to work out for them. You know, you're going to be getting that $1,000 a month, but look at what they're going to be getting for selling it. That is pretty amazing. That is some fantastic sales. Down, of course, if it's a 5% team, because it's your second level, you're still earning $9,250 annually. And if it's 3%, you're still getting over $5,000 annually for 1,000 customers in your organization being on this program. So that is pretty good. And I mean, this is so generous of the company, to be perfectly honest, that we can offer something like this. It's going to make so much for us personally. And I will just go back, because if there's any more questions on flavor stacks, Maria, one thing that we don't have in the flavor stack that I will mention, I did mention a moment ago, the way to keep these customers going for 12 months and loving it is, of course, your customer care calls. Service them, call them, make sure that they're using the products, make sure that they're happy with the products, see if you can help them, maybe offer different recipes and things as well on top of what they're getting. By servicing your customers, they are going to be much happier to stay on the program. Let's face it, it's quick, it's easy, it's tasty, it's healthy. But if you're connecting with them, you're a person too, and that makes it personal, and you care about them if you're giving them those calls. So I would say just keep in contact with your customers that are on the Autoship program or the Flavor Stack program, because that is where you're going to keep them on the program, and they're going to tell their friends about it too, and you're going to get the ongoing sales and things by doing that. Is there going to be a direct online way for customers to sign up? Maria, will that be available through our online pages? Do you know? Do we have an answer for that one yet?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah, that they can go online and use your online link, yeah.
Is it only one day a month for everyone? Joan, what they will be doing in their first month that they sign up their pod, and this is how I understand it, please correct me if I'm wrong, Maria, or anybody else on the call that knows the answer, but if they sign up, say today being the 19th or the 20th of the month, depending on what country you're in, that first pod will be sent automatically, and then they have until, I think the date earlier was they have until the 5th of the following month to pick a new lot of pods. Otherwise, they will all be automatically sent. And my understanding is they will all be sent on the same day of the month if they're an ongoing one. Perfect. All right.
Yeah, that's correct, Annette.
Beautiful. So that is Flavor Stacks in a nutshell. As Maria said, there will be Flavor Stack webinars. I think they're scheduled for the first Thursday of every month in Australia and the first Wednesday night in the US. Third, sorry, not first, the third Wednesday and Thursday nights in Australia and the US, and that will be ongoing Flavor Stack webinars to actually train down into the nitty-gritty, things like how do I sign people up, what are they to expect. Tonight it's just an intro. So now on to freezer meals, and I will pass it back to you again, Maria.
So we're introducing some freezer meals. This is a new, I think it's pretty exciting for us to develop some freezer meals for our guests, and we're going to be doing workshops on them. So our freezer meals, you know, you're doing a workshop and presenting, and the customers are making the meals at a party or at a tasting and taking them home. So they're uncooked meals. So they're taking the raw ingredients home and, you know, putting it in their freezer for, you know, a couple of nights or a week or 2 weeks, whatever they choose. So this is the page that you're seeing now is a new page in our catalogues. So if you currently have the current catalogue, you will be able to purchase, we'll be able to have this as an additional flyer for you that you can take along. But if you're ordering some new catalogues, this will already be in the catalogue for you. So again, this is just a flyer that you can use to present. You know, if you're doing markets, you can take that along to them, trade shows, things like that as well. It really, really gets people going for the freezer meals. So again, you're just getting your friends together to create your meal. So again, if you just want to go back one, Annette. Okay, so how much does this cost? So it's $50 plus shipping in Australia, Canada, and US. Okay, yeah, leave it on that one now, Annette. So again, you'll see there the pods are going to be exactly the same as the Autoship or the flavor stack. They'll get 3 tablespoons of product, and our recipes are designed for 3 tablespoons, or you know, some are only using 1 and 2 tablespoons for them, so they will be able to take some of their product home with them as well. So you'll see on the left-hand side you've got some chicken kebabs and corn. That was one of our first recipes that we come up with and made as well. So invite your friends and be a host. Hang on, what are you doing, Annette? So invite your friends over and make meals together. You and your guests will leave ready to freeze meals. So when you're ready to enjoy, the most of the work is already done. You'll receive free product and rewards, just like hosting a Your Inspiration at Home tasting, and you've had a great time with your friends. So as a host, you're receiving the rewards as a host. So why meal prep alone? Come to an event. So this is a way to get your customers, you know, excited about the program, and you know, get your host excited about it as well. So we can't think of a better way to prepare delicious meals that surrounded by friends. Attend a freezer meal workshop and leave with new recipes and ready to freeze meals. When you've got a busy night, thaw and do the last little bit needed to present your family with delicious meals inspired by flavors from around the world. So again, with the freezer meal workshop, so they're purchasing 2 stacks, and they will get 8 meals worth. So how much does this cost? So it's $50 plus shipping in Australia, Canada, and the US. Approximately $60 for New Zealand plus shipping, and the UK is to still be announced and confirmed. So now the $50 is actually, your customers are actually getting two boxes. So the cost is $25 a box, but it's 2 boxes minimum per guest. So 8 guests at a tasting equals 400 PV per workshop, or equivalent to your country. And your host receives full party benefits, so that's really, really exciting. So what you're needing to do is, and it's really, really up to you, so you can purchase these boxes as a consultant. You can purchase these boxes in advance and have them ready to go, or you need to, you know, get your host excited and purchase their boxes. So again, they're paying $50. They're actually paying, I think, $50 to $50 because of through as a tasting or as a party. So it's $50. The host can, so when you're entering this on the system, you're ordering your 8 guests, so 400. Your host can is also getting the host rewards on that as well. So when you're going to a party, you'll be able to present her with some already host rewards. So then at her tasting, she can then run another little mini party as well. So guest purchases the meal kits, which is the 2 stacks. Consultant sends the shopping list prior to the event. So as a consultant, a shopping list as well. So each box and each stack will come with recipes and a shopping list and everything that they need to do to make their meals. So guests bring their own groceries on the day and create their recipes. So the groceries, like pretty much they're bringing everything that they need, like their meat, their dairy, their pans, Ziploc bags, sauces, anything that you can think of, like whatever is in the recipe, they need to bring. So this is an example of search stations that have been previously done. So you'll see here on the left-hand side now, you know, and it depends on your host to where they can hold it in their house. You know, this lady may have had a big kitchen, so there's plenty of room there for her. If your host's got, you know, just a kitchen table is fine, or, you know, for those of you that have tables, like fold-up tables, you can take them along if you need to. So again, they're having, you know, a chopping board. All their ingredients are already there because they've pre-purchased them. They've got a little tub there. On your left-hand side, you'll see a little tub with, obviously, the folder's got their recipes and things in them. But the little tub is like, you'll put your Ziploc bags inside that to put your product and your food in that you can seal, and it just saves double handling. So, so recipes, again, on your left-hand side for each station. So as a consultant, you can have these already framed for them, so it saves them being dirty, or, you know, if you can't, if you don't want to do the frames, have them laminated. So each station will have a recipe. So your station, you can look at, you know, being that there's 8 meals, you can have 4 different stations, and then 2 people on each station making the same meal, and then you do a rotation around the workshop. Or, you know, if the host doesn't have a lot of room, you can just set up, you know, 1 or 2 stations, and you have 4 during them, and then you alternate, and then you get again. So again, down the bottom, you'll see the pods. Now, this was just an example of, you know, what it would look like, but we will be going with the pods that we use for the Autoship with the foil label. So this is what it will look like after they've made their meal. So on your left-hand side, you can see that obviously it was a burger workshop. So they've individually made their patties, put all your inspiration at home products in there, all their additional ingredients that they needed. They've gone into individual layers, and then into a Ziploc bag and a label on top. Now the labels we will actually be getting designed from our design team, that you'll be able to actually print them out and have them ready for your guests that they can use straight away. And, you know, in the middle one there you can see the chicken masala. So they've done all the meal prep for each individual thing. So, you know, they've done their mushrooms, they've cut up their chicken, they've made their sauce, and then they've individually put that into individual bags and then into one big bag, so then that goes into your freezer. Next, Annette. So this was one of the recipes that are in the program. So this was just the finished meal done by Amanda, our photographer. So just this will be sort of one of the recipes, and then on the back, like a photo, and then on the back we'll have some recipes for you. Next, Annette. So that's just taking, so customer care calls again, so your service to your customers. So it's really your responsibility to do your customer care calls and follow up. So be the best that you can, and this is your moment to shine and build the relationship with your customers. So, you know, you need to be working with your host as well prior to the workshop and getting all your guests confirmed. And then after the party as well, so after the workshops, you know, 24 hours, give them all your guests a call to ask them how they went, and did they get home okay with the product, like with their freezer meals, and you know, and then do a 2-week follow-up call. So ask them how was their meals, have they used any of them, did they like the product, and then in this call you're wanting to be offering them, you know, to purchase the full-size product as well. And again, with the 2-week follow-up call, if they've purchased additional product at their workshop, you know, in that 2-week call, you're probably looking at saying, you know, like your additional products have arrived, and they're now delivered to your host, and then go through that process again like you would normally do with that normal tasting. Is that the last slide, Annette?
So, Maria, that's the last
Sorry, your screen's just taking.
That's the last one.
Cool. Okay, so we've just got some questions. And a lot of them have been answered, but we'll just pull out some to start with. Sorry. So with the freezer meal work, you really need to allow 3 weeks for like to confirm, and then you're ordering the stacks. So that will get them in time for you. Again, you can also, as consultants, if you choose to, you can choose to have these stacks and boxes on hand. So you know what, like you might have a tasting tonight, and someone might like to book a workshop, a freezer meal workshop for 2 weeks' time. You're not going to get those boxes in time, but if you have them on hand, they're ready to go. So at that party, then you can just reorder the next, like you can order 8 more boxes in. So you don't need to have, so the minimum guest is 8 at your freezer meal workshop, but you can choose to have more if you like. And it's really going to depend on your host and what your host can handle at their house as well. You know, if they've only got a smaller house, 8's probably enough. And again, you know, your host's getting $400 in sales straight away with her host credits, and then at her tasting, you can re-offer. You know, you can take your kit and set up a little mini display. You know, make a cheese log, the blood orange guava with lemonade, and make a dip. That's probably, you know, all you need to make that, you know, that your guests there can have a taste and nibble along the way during the workshop. So how soon will we have access to the shopping lists and menus? As soon as the program is released, you will have access to those. So we will be having different stacks in the freezer program. So currently, I believe we have the 2 boxes ready to go, with an additional 2 boxes as well. And then we're looking at, you know, some dessert ones and kids meals ones and things like that. So every month there'll be some additional stacks that you can choose for the freezer program. So yes, it will be released September 1st. so you can be booking your tastings. I probably would be booking my tastings like mid to late September, which gives you time to order your boxes in and get them. Yeah, so yeah, allow your 3 weeks for your delivery. So Carly, yes, you do need to order your 8 boxes. So it's a minimum of 8 for the freezer program. So Vivian, are these only available through consultants as a workshop? Yes. So how many meals will each guest take home? They'll be taking home 8. So again, so one box has 4 meals, and they're purchasing 2 boxes, so 8 meals. Some of them, you know, they may have some products left home, so they're taking the leftover product home as well, that you can give them recipe IDs as well to use. So yes, consultants will be able to choose the boxes. So once we develop the program a little bit more and we've got more recipe ideas and things like that, you'll be able to choose different boxes. So again, you're going to need a host coach and ask your host, you know, what type of boxes that they would prefer to choose. Okay. So if there's any more questions, just type them in. I think we've just caught up on all the questions. So with the freezer meal program as well, as a consultant, you will need to provide, you know, some chopping boards and things like that as well. So we'll be looking into those little details in the next week to 2 weeks. What actually does the consultant need to provide and what the guests need to provide. Okay, are we? So, are we going to see a sample workshop as part of training? I will get back to you on that, Donna. I dare say we'll be able to put together some type of training workshop. We did do one over in New Zealand last week at New Zealand Convention, but it was just a little mini one, and this is the greatest. So. Sarah, so can consultants order a minimum of 8, or can we just order 1 to have a demo to showcase? I'll confirm that. I do believe that we can purchase 1 just to have on display to get people excited. So Mari, with the flavour snacks, will it be easily able to make half a recipe if there's only 2 in the family? Yes, definitely. So just half the recipe. Christine, Krista, just for the Autoship program. That still purchasing the first one, and then they can choose to put the next month on hold, just depending on that. So I will get that answer for you and let you know. Yes, so as a consultant, we can purchase one of the flavor snacks. So we just sign up as well. So the PV on a freezer meal pack, so they're purchasing 2 packs, which is $50. You're still getting the full PV depending on which country you're in. So you'll be getting 50 PV per box, and then obviously because there's a minimum of 8 guests, so it's a 400 PV party, and then you're getting commission on that as well. Okay, I think that is all of the questions, and thank you everyone for joining us. And again, this was just an introductory, so we will be breaking these 2 programs into 2 individual ones and going into them more into detail, you know, in the next month or 2. And as we develop more recipes and more things for both of these programs, you know, the webinars will change, and you know, we'll keep you up to date with what's coming out new and things like that as well. So if you've got any questions further to this, if you can take them to your leader or to your qualified director, and yeah, we'll get as much info out on these as we can. So thank you for all joining. Thank you, Annette, and seeing some amazing things happening in the next few months, and you know, our businesses are going to grow from just, it's amazing how much growth we're going to have with introducing these 2 new programs. Have a good day. Bye.
Awesome. Thanks, Maria. Bye.
See ya.